out-of-body experience.
Welcome to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast with your host Logan and
Hayden.
And today we bring you another episode of Pass the Pen. The episodes where we go through storylines or different things in wrestling and we need to fantasy book them to an extent and figure out where we think they should go in the future. But this one is a little bit of a special one because Triple H has a very hit or miss love-hate relationship with the tag team division in WWE. He said previously multiple different times that he's going to build the tag team division up and they're going to be a focal point of the show. And then he does that for a couple months and then they go back to irrelevancy.
Yep.
He's released tag teams, Motor City Machine Guns most notably, got released recently. And Ciampa left, DIY just got broken up. And so and then recently Triple H came out and said that he was going to revitalize the tag team division again. And so that's what sparked this episode of Pass the Pen, where we are going to take the rosters of SmackDown and Raw and try and fantasy book a better tag team division for each brand because they need some help. So Hade's got Raw, I've got SmackDown. Why don't you go first with Raw, Hade?
Okay. So, as of now, on the Raw roster, our tag team champions are the Vision. They just beat the Street Profits at Saturday Night's Main Event. So those are our two top tag teams over there. Then we got teams like Alpha Academy. We have the LWO with Toro and Wild. The Usos are on Raw. So there's another team we have. We don't have a ton of War Raiders that don't do much. They're doing AAA stuff really right now. Same for the Los Americanos. And then we have American Mage, who's fighting Los Americanos. And I guess I'll count Judgment Day with Dominic and JD if they actually ever teamed up.
Yeah, they don't really. It was really JD and Finn.
They don't really do that too much, but so that's about where I'm at with the tag teams on Raw. Not a lot of options.
Not really.
We don't really have a great depth over there.
I mean, there's a reason the Vision's tag team champs.
So I was looking at what WWE has been doing lately too is, especially like in the women's divisions, which is what's made the women's tag team division so much better, with putting a couple of different people together and forming a team like Rio and Bailey and Lyra, teams like that to kind of give it more depth.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the Raw roster, and I think there's a few teams that we might be able to make out of this. I do have one dream scenario that I don't think will actually happen, but I would say if WWE could ever get Leon Slater to come in, he could team with Javon Evans.
That'd be awesome.
And that'd be a great tag team, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I was looking at it, and probably your best bets, we have a guy like Grayson Waller just floating around.
Yeah, he kind of got screwed when New Day got left.
With the New Day, he kind of got kicked out of the New Day idea. He's been a former tag team champion, so we need to find him a partner. And I was looking at the roster, and my thought was maybe someone else who's been kind of put on the back burner. And I was thinking Rusev. Put Grayson with the two heels.
Interesting.
Yeah, it can kind of be like a brute force and a loudmouth.
Team that could work, but Rusev, he's kind of standoffish because even Ethan Page, he's not like being friends with him. He's working with him.
That's true. And Ethan Page and Rusev's another option. But remember when Rusev debuted in AEW as Kip Sabian's like best man?
Yeah.
And then they kind of had that kind of same dynamic going where Sabian was the charismatic one and Rusev was just kind of
okay.
So, yeah, you could do Grayson Waller, you could do Ethan Page, something like that to give Rusev some more TV time. And to get one of those other... Now, I like Ethan Page better as a singles guy, so that's why I would go more Grayson Waller myself. But I think that could be something that could work out. You also could do the tag team of another former tag team champion in Dragon Lee and team him up with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that's an obvious
one. He's not doing a whole lot on TV. Now Ray's just got named the AAA general manager, so I don't know how much he's gonna be wrestling. But there's another tag team that you could do to kind of vamp up the division. And I talked about the dream scenario with Javon Evans, but if that doesn't happen, I feel like we could find someone for him to team with up here.
I feel like he'd be good with a big guy.
And yeah, I think you go for the big guy, but Raw doesn't have a lot of options for
True,
that
true.
in the bracket. But I think I wouldn't mind seeing Evans and maybe Joe Hendry team up. I don't think
Interesting.
that would be a bad tag team. I think Joe Hendry would benefit from being with Javon Evans for a little
That
bit
could work.
to
Yeah.
kind of go after the tag titles. Because he's at kind of in that purgatory right now.
He just got called
I,
up.
yeah, but I mean, like, he's not doing anything. He did that stuff with attacking the Vision to fire Logan
Yeah,
Paul, but
he's trying to get Logan Paul fired.
he could find another teammate. He could also, Joe Hendry could go the way of another charismatic guy and maybe use him as a mentor in LA Knight. Yeah. And maybe you have Joe Hendry team up with LA Knight.
You're just asking for all the IWC guys to just pass out and
Mm-hmm.
die if LA Knight goes to the tag team division.
LA Knight already hates the Vision. Joe Hendry hates the Vision and Logan Paul. Let's do LA Knight and Joe Hendry versus the
That's
Vision.
quite the team.
That's something right there. So what? And on a side note, Joe Hendry just showed up in my living room. I said his name so many times. That's kind of creepy. So those are some of the guys I was looking at there. And then there's obviously the option that maybe we should go down to NXT and pull up a couple teams. And I was looking at it. Probably my favorite teams that I would say would be the best would maybe let's bring up uh, maybe obviously the Birthright's doing their thing down there, but maybe like the Culling could do
They've been
something.
around for a while.
Yeah, I mean they could come up and at least be a team up there. You got Dark State who's been around for a long
Well,
time.
they just broke up a little bit.
Well, they got rid of the one
They
guy,
kicked out Shake on Sugars.
which is fine. You don't need to have all of them. Or I like Hank and Tank.
Yeah, Hank and Tank's
Let's
good.
bring
Yeah,
up let's bring up Hank and Tank. So,
but Hank and Tank falls in the Otis category for me.
well, yes, but you need some of those buffer teams. So, anyway, I think that's where I'm at with Raw.
Okay.
I think building those little side quest guys would be fun to have in there, but it just has no depth right now. So unless we bring in a team from the free agents, which I just don't know anybody, we don't have enough guys to know anybody to speculate anything. But we're just using the guys off the roster right now. But my main ones would be like, let's give maybe Joe Hendry and LA Knight a chance. Do that. Um, or maybe do something with Rusev and Grayson Waller. Those would be
I
my
don't
two
mind
main
the
ones
Joe
I would throw
Hendry
in there.
Javon Evans one. I think that could be good.
Hey,
The more I think about it.
Joe Hendry, Javon Evans. They had a few matches down in NXT. Maybe the two young guys come up trying to do something and take out the Vision. So,
Well,
but
SmackDown's not in a much better spot.
no,
Your
you
current
got a
tag
little more depth over there though.
I don't not really. The current tag team champions, Damian Priest and R-Truth. You've got you got way more women's stuff going on in SmackDown. The
Well, the
women's
women's tag team is fine. That's why
yeah.
we're not doing
Women's
that.
tag team is in a good spot right now.
Yeah, shockingly.
So you got Truth and Priest. You've got Kit Wilson and The Miz. You've got the MFTs. You've got Los Garza, but we don't really know what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Fraxium, and that is it for the men's tag team division.
Yeah, not a whole lot, but a little bit
Because
more than what I had.
you had DIY and you had the Guns, but now DIY is
Mm-hmm.
broken up because Ciampa's in AEW and the Guns are gone. They will be in AEW.
Yeah, more than
So
likely.
SmackDown's in not much better of a spot as tag team division goes. So I think the best course of action would probably be to form a tag team, which we've talked about previously. You've even brought this up on one of the podcast episodes. Forming a
Must
tag
be
team
smart.
of Ricky Saints and Royce Keys.
Mm-hmm. I like that
It
one.
was a suggestion by Not Sam on one of his episodes, and
Hmm.
it works out pretty well because they're they fit together as a classic tag team. The big muscly
Yeah, and
guy and the
it
guy
gives
who
me
talks
that
a lot.
it gives me the Team Taz vibes too.
Yeah,
When it was Ricky Saints and Cage, he's a machine to do that.
yeah. It just fits because Ricky is a guy who's a loudmouth. He talks a lot, and then he's got
Hmm.
a big muscle guy to back him up and fight his battles. It works perfectly. So
Yep, I think so.
I think if I was going to create a tag team, that would be the two guys I would put together. If I don't really see on the roster, I mean, I want Ray Phoenix to do something, but if I'm going to put him in a tag team, I'm going to put him with Pentagon, but he's not on SmackDown, so
Hmm.
I guess I
I mean, there's got to be someone on the roster that you
yeah,
could throw
I'm
Phoenix
looking at
in
the
there with.
roster now. You got like Shinsuke, but he's not really a tag guy. You've got Johnny Gargano is not doing anything except for planking everywhere. Carmelo Hayes is
He's
more
sad.
singles now. Uh, you've got Ilya Dragunov's a single guy. Gunther and Fatu are singles. Owens is injured. Matt Cardona, but I don't really see Matt Cardona and Ray Phoenix teaming up. That doesn't really work at all.
Yeah, it seems kind of odd.
And then Trick Williams is singles right now, and Sami Zayn's singles. So I don't really see anybody Phoenix could partner up with, especially now that like Andrade's gone and Dragon Lee's on Raw. So
Yeah, yeah, that's a tough one.
Phoenix is in a bad spot. So I guess I would only
Hmm.
put uh Keys and Saints together. And then if there was
Okay.
any NXT guys to get called up, you already were talking about um you were talking about the Hank and Tank and you were talking about Culling in Dark State.
Mm,
The only thing I have with the Culling is they've been around for a while, but Sean Spears is just a coach. That's what he is. So
I know.
I don't see him having any more runs up in the main roster.
You're telling me he can't get a tag team run? I mean, what are we doing?
I mean, maybe. I mean, if they think Nico Vance has got what it takes, he can't team with Izzy Dame.
Yeah, he could try.
And then the birthright's still kind of new, so they're gonna stay down there for a little bit.
Yeah, that was my thing. They'd probably be my favorite one I'd
Um,
bring up,
as
but
far as like
they're going to be
OTM, I don't
around
think
for a
OTM's
while.
ready yet. They might be in a couple months, but they're still kind of raw, I think. And then you got like Vanity Project, but they're the tag team champions right now, so I don't think they're ready either. So
Yeah,
I think
no, they need their run.
yeah, I think Hank and Tank would probably be my pick for SmackDown. They're the most ready, I think, out of all the tag teams down in NXT. I thought there were more tag teams in NXT. I guess not.
I mean, well, I know some of the call ups and
Yeah,
everything,
true, true.
so
So
it's just
we end
everybody's been
with
getting.
Priest and Truth, which they're probably not going to be a tag team much longer after they lose the titles.
I wouldn't think
I would
so.
think Priest would go back on his own. Then you've got Miz and Kit Wilson, which they're kind of just a comedy tag team. The
Yep.
MFTs, but I would assume Tama Tonga is going to leave at some point. He's
Well,
gonna
then you could have Tama Tonga leave and join with Shinsuke if he ends up
true.
doing
You
that.
could have that. That could be
But he
cool.
just attacked him on SmackDown,
Yeah,
so I
but I
don't
think that
think
might
that's
just be a
really.
cover to fake out Solo.
Oh, poor Shinsuke. So,
Shinsuke
oh, you're.
loves it. He told him to do it. And then you got Los Garza, which we don't know what they're doing. They could be leaving the company. So you just got Fraxium. Fraxium's left.
Yeah, that's it.
You got Fraxium and you got Keys and Saints if they ever did that.
We're a long way away from that TLC match
Yeah,
on
there
that
was there were so
SmackDown.
many good teams, man.
There was. I know. They ruined it.
I think the problem is the tag team division would be so much better if there wasn't like two titles because there's not enough teams for
Well,
two titles anymore.
I mean, obviously, but
So if you split
there'd be
if
a
you
lot of things better if there was just one title.
well we know
And
how
it's
much you
not going
hate
to do
multiple
that.
titles.
Yeah, it's too many.
I
It doesn't
we
make
try to
sense.
fantasy book the tag teams. I don't know. There's not really much to fantasy book here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not there's not a lot of options to really move them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you could always end up on your end maybe end up getting like a Trick and Carmelo re-team up
yeah,
if they
but
ended up.
there's a lot of personal history between those two. I don't know if they would team up.
You could always try that. So you'd have that option, but yeah, I know there's just not a lot of great picks for SmackDown,
I'd say
especially.
my big one would be Saints and Keys, and
Hmm.
then You got Kid Wilson and Miz, you got the MFTs, you got Fraxium, and then Priest and Truth is probably my tag team division.
Yeah.
And maybe Hank and Tank. Let's call up Hank and Tank. If you don't call them up on Raw.
Now you can have them.
You already got Otis and Tozawa. You don't need Hank and Tank.
That's true.
All right. Well, we tried our best to figure out the tag team division. I'm
It's
very
not easy.
I'm very curious to see what Triple H's big idea is to re bolster the tag team division and make it good again. And it'll last
Nothing.
3 months and be done.
He has nothing.
He's panicking.
I'm sure he is.
We'll find
If
out.
he cares, that would be the problem.
And it won't be as good as what we came up with.
Oh, it never is. But here we are.
Well, that's
Here
been
we
another
are.
episode of Pass the Pen. We hope you enjoyed. Let us know down below in the comments any suggestions that you have, maybe some teams of guys, the singles guys that you put together that we didn't think of or didn't say. Maybe there's a couple guys that we might have missed, and leave them down below in the comments of both Spotify and YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Brothers of Wrestling. Follow us on TikTok, Brothers of Wrestling. Follow us everywhere, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.